Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Eva from Plan with Eva on Instagram, and this week I'm going to be planning the week of the 13th to the 19th. I'm using this beautiful kit from CaressPress. We went to a wedding on Sunday, and because this spread was pretty fall-like and it was in September, I figured this would be a perfect kit to use, and I actually used another kit, or about another kit, that has a similar art as this one, except that one doesn't have any people in the full boxes. So that one I'll be using for another spread. I was searching for a lot of wedding spreads, wedding kits, and I wasn't finding a lot, so I actually had to double up on this art that was used, which is pretty, but it's just the colors isn't the normal colors that I would usually choose for a wedding spread. This one fit pretty well with autumn and the beginning of autumn coming along, so I figured this would work really well, and I really loved how it turned out. I ended up doing the glitter headers as kind of a dispersed look this week. That's how normally people, I think, usually use it. If you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know usually I use 3 colors and I put them at the top, middle, and bottom with 1 color. But because there was so much green in this kit, I kind of wanted to just kind of balance it out by having the dividers being balanced out as well. So I think I ended up using all 4 dividers. Yes, I did. I ended up using all of the 4s that were provided in the kit, and I spaced them out. And I really liked how that ended up looking, especially because I didn't realize this till later. You'll see maybe a pause later in the video, but when I was doing the day covers, I realized that they have a order to the day covers, but luckily I was actually going to the same direction or the same sequence as the day covers was, so it ended up looking like it was on purpose. So you'll see that in a little bit. I guess I can talk a little bit about the things that happened this week. Some exciting things were that I watched a really good show on Netflix. Netflix came out with a show that I was anticipating. I saw the trailer for it a while ago. It's called Squid Games, or Squid Game. Let me know if you guys have watched it or are planning to watch it. It was really, really exciting in the trailer. It just gave me the Hunger Games vibes. It gave me vibes of like, what's the show called? The movie, the Saw series. It kind of gave me that kind of vibe, except the participants are basically volunteering, and the ages of the participants vary. And it's basically a lot of these people, they like their end goal is to get a lot of money after they win this Squid Game. And it just goes through there's like I think there was like 6 different games that they have to play, and if you come out winning all of them, then you win the final prize, and it's like a lot of money. And the show just did a lot of things that were really unexpected. When I watch a movie or a show with my husband, I always make small commentary like, oh, if they did like this, then it would have been really crazy. And if they did it like this, then it would be really unexpected. And usually shows don't go that route of the unexpected and crazy. But for this show, it did exactly that. I say one thing and it actually did it like in the next scene. And it's just so crazy that the things happen, because you would think that just the normally shows just don't go that route of following exactly what you would think. And they did exactly that. They did the unexpected. You expect it to be crazier, or you want something to be crazier. I'm not sure if I'm making any sense, but I always expect shows to kind of go crazier and be more dramatic and be out of the ordinary, and the shows usually don't do that. They kind of go the safe route of what like the normal people would enjoy, I feel like. And for this one, it kind of just went those limits of things that you don't expect. So the journey of watching the whole series was just amazing. We finished it in 2 days. I think there was only 8 or 9 episodes, so it wasn't that long, but Korean dramas are usually like that, where they have fewer episodes, but each of the episodes are like an hour long. So you're like watching a movie every time, basically. But if it was up to me, I probably would have finished watching the whole thing in one day, but because we started watching it at night during dinner time, I believe it was, we ended up watching like half of the season the first day, and then the next morning, it was a Saturday, so we were able to finish it the next day. So it was really nice, and he liked it as well. My husband really enjoyed it, so I feel like it's a show that lots of people will enjoy. It is very bloody and gory, which I was hoping for, and it did not disappoint it at all. All my friends that have watched it, they've really enjoyed it too. The only disappointing part for me was probably the ending, because the show was so crazy and had so many intense moments. I just expected the ending to kind of give me that feeling as well, but it kind of was pretty subpar, I would say. As of today, from last I checked, it was still trending #1 on Netflix. So you guys have probably seen it, but I highly, highly recommend it if you haven't watched it yet. If you're not into blood, I probably would tell you to stay away from it because it does get a pretty bloody. There's a lot of blood in the show that happens. There's a lot of death. So if those are kind of triggers for you, then maybe I would stay away from this one. But for me, I just thought the way the show went, it just made me miss a lot of the Saw series, Hunger Games, all of those kind of competition and bloody, gory stuff. Just, I love that kind of stuff. And yeah, that was the latest show that we watched. And before that, we were watching Money Heist, which we also started on the Monday of the spread and we finished on the Friday of the spread. And this season we forgot because Money Heist I feel like we watched a while ago, so we couldn't remember. But for this series, they actually released less episodes. I think they also had 8 or 9 episodes, or maybe there was even less, because I remember that this was a part 1 of the final series. So there's going to be another part that they're going to release after this one that's going to be finishing up this season. So if you watch Money Heist, it's a pretty good show as well. I don't know what those kind of shows are called, but things like Sherlock and those kind of detective shows where you kind of like see everything play out according to the plan, but you don't know the whole plan as you're watching it, is I love shows like that, and this Money Heist show is pretty much like that. All of these shows that I'm talking about are actually foreign. This one is from Spain, people that are from Spain, and the other one is Korean. So if you don't like subtitles, then you won't be able to watch these because they are all subtitles unless you speak the languages. But Money Heist is really good. This was the season 5, and like I said, this was part 1 of 2 different parts, so there's going to be one more after this. As much as this show frustrates me, it's still pretty high on my list of things I love to watch because of the way it plays out in the show. There are some characters that I really, really hate, and some moments that I really, really hate that are just like not realistic, first of all. And I think as I'm getting older, I'm just getting really nitpicky about the shows that I'm watching, which I say a lot of things aren't realistic, but these are obviously shows, so obviously they do things so the show can go along. But this has been a show that we've been really enjoying to watch just because it's very different from normal shows. It's basically following this group of people that are trying to rob places. And the first couple seasons, it was like different places, and now it's kind of a continuation of the season before this. So if you don't watch the season before, you won't really understand half of what's going on. I completely forgot what happened in season 4, so I was confused about a lot of this stuff. They use like different cities for their names, and there's just a lot of character development, so you should watch from season 1 if you're interested. Yeah, we started watching this on the Monday and we finished it on Friday because I don't think there were that many episodes. And then we watched Squid Games right after that. I'll talk about my spread for a little bit. On Monday, I was helping my grandma with something and I wasn't able to do it, so I just marked that it was a fail. I had therapy this day as well, and at the end of the day, I'm actually allergic to peanuts. My cousin went to Hawaii recently and she came back with stuff that were made with macadamia nuts, and I've always been too scared to try anything with it just because I'm scared I'll get a reaction because I'm allergic to peanuts and hazelnuts. Let me know if you have a peanut allergy as well, because for me, I can't eat peanuts and hazelnuts, but I can eat cashews, walnuts, what else is there? There's like pistachios, almonds. I can eat all of those perfectly fine. It's just peanuts and hazelnuts that I cannot eat for some reason. So when I've heard of macadamia nuts, I've just always been scared that I would have the same reaction. But since my cousin bought it from Hawaii, I figured I would try a little bit. And that night I actually ate it and I was perfectly fine, and it's pretty good. It reminds me of the texture of a cashew and an almond mixed together. So that's what I was marking on Monday, and ironically, I ate dumplings that my mom and my aunt made, and that actually had peanuts in it, which I didn't know, so I ate 2, and I was starting to get a reaction, and I was getting really scared, but I was fine after it just went away a little bit. On Tuesday, I didn't really do much. There was just a meeting that we had with our principal about some matters. I also went to the vet that day. My dog's been having a lot of reactions on his bodies, and we were just trying to see what was happening. She gave us some mousse before to try out to see if it would heal it, but it wasn't working. So now he's on antibiotics, and he's looking a lot better. That on Wednesday, I just went to work, and it was very stressful that day, so I just marked that. I also went to Target and got my flu shot that day, and I uploaded a video. On Thursday, since the wedding was coming up, I made an appointment to my favorite nail place. I've only been to this place once with my mom, but I really liked how they did it, so I went there after work to get my nails done. I was able to film a haul that day, which I should be putting up soon. We also had Chipotle that night just because my husband was having a hard day, so we just ended up getting takeout that day, so we didn't have to cook. On Friday, we just had some Lotus as well, so to take some takeout. If you've never heard of Lotus, it's a place in Chicago, and it's a Vietnamese sandwich place. So we were eating some banh mi's, if you're familiar with it. And I finally finished my haul, so I was able to put a lot of stickers away, and I was able to organize my leftover stickers collection. So I was doing that all night, and then this was when we started Squid Game. On Saturday, like I said, we finished Squid Game, and we also started Sex Education, which is another show that I highly, highly recommend. I love Sex Education so much, and we just finished it present day, but I'll be really sad if there isn't a season 4. And I was just telling my husband that I feel like they can really make it where they're not high schoolers anymore. They can do it in a college setting and just jump a few years, and I think it would still work. Never heard of sex education? It's basically the son of a sex therapist. He goes to school, and he basically does a sex clinic kind of itself, with helping his classmates with sex education, basically. And you just see the trial and tribulations that he goes through with his love interest and other happenings. And Eric is my favorite character on there. I just love him so much, everything about his personality. That night I also watched a lot of Bailey Sarian. If you don't watch her, she does makeup, and she talks about different true crime activities, true crime stories, I mean. And on Sunday, like I said, that was the day we went to the wedding. It was beautiful, and it was just a lovely experience, and very different, and nice to meet some people that I don't usually see, since it was my husband's coworker. This is my whole spread. I really, really loved how it turned out. I hope you guys enjoy it too. And thank you so much, as always, for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!